Well, it's been a very, very, very long time since I've uploaded anything. Why is that? Well, let's have a completely uninteresting story whilst playing a bit of Minecraft. What are we doing here? Aluminium dust. Where's our smelter? Let's get some aluminium smelting. No, in fact, let's get some osmium smelting. So, this story goes back to, and it's nothing exciting, by the way. It goes back to when I first got my computer. Oh, I can't remember how long I've had it for now. It's 7 or 8 years old, and hopefully it's still doing okay. I mean, it can still play recent releases of things, so it's, it was high spec at the time, so it's still holding up. Anyway, I bought it through a fairly well-known company that I won't name because they're still in business and they've got a good reputation. And to be honest, like the vast majority of my PC was fine. One thing that wasn't was the CPU cooler, the heatsink. The one that it came with, the fan was knackered. It was just like making a really loud sort of rattling noise. So a bit of back and forth, and I got them to send a replacement. But the one they sent me was only good enough for pretty much like your average office desktop PC. And I've got a fairly, well, at the time it was a fairly beefy i7 processor, and the CPU cooler was just not good enough at all. I've lost my torch. So for the majority of the time, well, no, pretty much, other than when I first switched it on, if I did anything even remotely CPU intensive, the fan on the heatsink was just going at full steam, and it was so noisy. It was driving me mad. I didn't realize how much I hated it actually until I recently replaced it, and I think it wasn't overheating, but it was definitely, the CPU wasn't doing, wasn't doing its fair share of the work. So I think the graphics card was having to take over some of the load, which means I didn't quite get, the full benefit of my graphics card. So anyway, I bought a new one. I went for a really, I went for one that was, I'm not an expert when it comes to hardware, especially like CPU heat sinks. I got one that was compatible, and took the old one out, waited for the new one to arrive, expecting it to be sort of, a similar size, but maybe a bit better. And the one I got, although it was completely compatible with my CPU, was about 4 times the size of my old one, which meant that the case that said company had built my PC into wasn't big enough for the heatsink, because when it was attached to the CPU, then I couldn't fit the side case back on, because that's how much bigger it was. So I had to get a new case, transfer everything over. It's fine. That worked, and I didn't realize I've probably gone a bit over OTT with the CPU cooling, but more is better. Why aren't you going into... Oh, because that's the crusher. Okay. So yeah, more is better. It's so quiet now. Before, the only thing I could hear was the CPU fan, and now when I play things that are quite graphics heavy, I can actually hear the GPU fan, and it's not noisy at all, but I can actually hear now when the GPU is actually having to do stuff. So I did... And I'm not sure if that was having a knock-on effect on... I can't see why it would impact things like my microphone. So I always had a problem. I've got a Blue Yeti microphone, and you can tell probably in some of my old videos that the audio from it is quite quiet sometimes, even though in OBS I had it cranked up to max and, almost my lips touching it. It just wasn't very loud, and I don't know. I mean, Windows What version of Windows have I got? 10, because I can't upgrade to 11 because I haven't got a modern enough CPU, which is ridiculous, but there we are. So I can't see that they would have patched anything to fix it, but at the same time I can't see how the CPU getting a bit hot would impact that. But anyway, I think the audio is probably a lot, it seems to have fixed, or some other issues that were annoying me and put me off recording have been fixed. So part of the CPU problem, I tried doing some console gaming for a while and just recording things on my PC, but I had an Elgato capture card and I had no end of problems from that from the very beginning. I remember I was trying to use their own software for recording and it just wasn't working, and I contacted them and they said, okay, send us a clip. So I sent them a clip and the specs of my PC, and at the time they said, oh yeah, there's an issue with our software and high-end PCs, we're not sure what it is or when it's going to be fixed. So I thought, well, that's great customer service. So anyway, I switched to OBS but still had problems. But anyway, I think the CPU issue is definitely fixed. So I'm gonna try and do some recording. I've definitely got some projects I want to do. I'll probably rebrand the channel at some point, but I'm not going to do that until I've actually started putting out videos again. If anybody is watching these, which I'm not sure, do like, comment, because otherwise I might just sort of completely abandon the channel and start from scratch, with different branding, and just leave this as a dead channel really. But yeah, nothing exciting. I was having some issues with my PC. Actually, it got to the point where I dismantled my PC desk and it went in the garage for 5 or 6 months. PC gathering dust, but I really missed it. I've always, I started off as a PC gamer. I started off with a Mega Drive, to be fair, but once I got my own PC, I probably spent more time PC gaming than anything else, so I did miss it. And so I wish I had done this years ago, to be honest, fixing the CPU. I didn't realise the one that they supplied, how crap it was. It was, like I said, it's probably what you'd see on a low-end office PC. And the one I've got is so much beefier. It's, like I said, it's probably overkill, but who cares? It's working, it's doing its job. It never actually, the CPU temperature hardly ever goes up now, even when I'm doing things like this. So yeah, that's where I've been. Nothing exciting. I would like to, I'm not sure whether, I've kind of got into Twitch a lot more recently as well, watching it. So I'm not sure if I'll stream more on Twitch, or I might do a second update. Like I said, I'm not sure whether to rebrand this channel or just start from scratch and see if I can build an audience, because I don't think I really have one at the moment. And if you do watch my videos, I'm really sorry for, so like I said, do pop a comment, if you do spend time watching my videos. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just don't really see much interaction. So yeah, that's where I've been. Hopefully this video is going to be okay. This is kind of a test, so yeah, apologies if the audio is a bit off, but yeah, I'm really hoping that things are working again. So yeah, I haven't, like I said, I've got a few projects that I want to, because I did put I think one of the last videos I did was an update video on, I want to play some of the Final Fantasy games, 1 to 6. They've just released the Pixel remaster on, I think, PS4/5, and Switch, I believe. It's been out on Steam for a while, so I've got Final Fantasy 6 Pixel remaster on Steam. So yeah, I'd like to do, and I haven't played, I started with 7, so I haven't played the 1 to 6s, so I'd like to do that. I'd like to do a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2. I started a Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough, and then I think, because I had an external hard drive attached to my, this is when I was console gaming, had it attached to my PlayStation, and not realizing that actually that it's quite temperamental, and I lost all the save files, I think, and I didn't have the PlayStation Plus, so it wasn't cloud syncing. But yeah, I might start with the Legendary Edition and do Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3, and then Andromeda. I mean, that would keep me going for they're big games. That would keep me going forever. Red Dead Redemption 2, again, is a massive game if you do a lot of the side stuff. So yeah, I've got a lot I want to do. It's just whether, I bother doing it on this channel, or whether I move to Twitch, or whether I could create a completely brand new channel. So if you've watched this and have a preference, put something in the comments. If I don't see any comments, I'll assume that, this channel's dead and make a decision either way. So thanks for listening if you have been. All the usual: like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you hopefully in the not too distant future. Take care.